Hello everybody, my name is Breton Farrell and I am an honor student at University of Oregon as well as the sole founder of Farrell Foods, and something I like to say is activate your wild side. I love the backpack. However, I've grown to realize that traditional backpacking freeze-dried meal kits don't necessarily apply to my taste preferences as well as some of my family members' dietary restrictions. For example, the chicken fajita bowl shown in the slide, I personally wish that it had cheese and lime included in the package, and my mom wishes that there were some similar vegetarian alternatives. Naturally, because I love to cook and I love to backpack, I've tried to make some meal kits on my own, and this is a summary of what the experience looked like. You have to read long articles telling you where to find certain ingredients, specific recipes, as well as what the process overall just looks like. You have to jump from grocery store to grocery store, specialty store to specialty store, go online for all the ingredients that you previously weren't able to find, and you'll have to pay premium prices and buy in bulk like this cheese here for $42. Clearly, this is far from feasible for the everyday backpacker. Until now, introducing Farrell Foods. This is a mock-up of the Farrell Foods website. As you can see, there's two options to choose from: build from scratch and recommended recipes. In the build from scratch option, users will be able to build a meal kit completely from scratch. They'll be able to choose their base, their proteins, their vegetables, and their condiments and toppings. In the recommended recipes option, users will be able to choose from any of our pre-crafted recipes and tweak it any way they desire, just like a Starbucks order. We want to keep personalization simple and easy, and so that's why we're packaging in 2 servings, and people that want to personalize will no longer have to sacrifice premium prices or bulk order sizes. In terms of consumer segments, we plan on targeting adventurers first, adventurers being like backpackers as I mentioned, hikers, skiers, climbers, and this will give us the brand image we want from the start. But eventually we're hoping to move on to new markets like preppers, form government contracts with military personnel, maybe even students. The great thing about this business is it's so scalable and the product can be applied to such a wide variety of markets. Eventually there might be astronauts bringing Farrell Foods to the moon. In terms of pricing, we're trying to keep it similar to competition. So basically roughly from $7 to $16 per 2-serving meal kit. But our model is a little bit different because our pricing is personalized to each custom order. And so it's a little bit like a Starbucks order where, as you can see, this one person ordered a peppermint mocha for $8.90. They added cinnamon and coconut syrup for an extra 45 cents. The great thing about Farrell Foods is that it is so extremely scalable. Freeze-dried foods can last in inventory for an extremely long amount of time. Freeze-dried meats last anywhere from 10 to 15 years. As I mentioned previously, there are a lot of different markets you can tap into with this business, as well as we have the blessing to have Oregon Freeze-Dry in our local state, who represent 70% of the North American freeze-drying capacity and are the parent company of the Mountain House brand. I know what some of you might be thinking, why would an indirect competitor want to supply for my brand? And there are 3 main reasons I've came with after talking to some industry professionals. The first main reason is I'd be so extremely easy for them to supply for. A lot of the ingredients that they would need to provide me and go through the freeze-dry process with, they already do for their Mountain House brand. A second reason is they are known to work with local smaller businesses in the state of Oregon. And the third is they probably won't see me as a big competitor in the very beginning because I am in my very early stages. However, as I do scale up, they might eventually see me as a threat and they might make some offerings and they could be a good exit strategy down the road, or I might have to start supplying in-house. Though there is no direct competition for Farrell Foods, there are some indirect competitors. Some of these, as I already mentioned, freeze-dried food brands that currently exist on market. And then there are very few, but there are some individualized freeze-dried ingredient companies. However, as I mentioned previously, they are either charge very premium prices like this one example, Nutristore, or you have to buy in bulk. And then there's those extreme DIYers on the very right. And the image that you're looking at is a dehydrator, and they cost around $1,000, but some people invest in these to have very personalized meal kits and they don't have to worry about trying to search everywhere for the right ingredients. They can just do it all in-house. So, what does Feral Foods offer that gives us a unique edge? Personalization. Personalization in both our products and our customer experiences keeps Feral Foods unique and enables more people to get outside and activate their wild side. In terms of the Feral Foods team, I am the sole founder, as I mentioned, and I love to cook and backpack, and I am in the Honors College, so I have the privilege of right now working on my portfolio style thesis, a business plan for Feral Foods. And right now I have established 2 members of my thesis committee, one of which many of you probably already know, Nathan Lilligard, as well as my seed sheet representative, Dr. Angela Rovac, both of which who I'm sure will be a great help in guiding me on this business venture. All right, so with the capital I got from the Spark grant, as well as the future earnings I might earn from this competition, what do I plan to do with it? Well, I will use it to obtain the necessary trademarks, and then I hope to develop a very, very solid website by spring of 2023. And then in spring of 2023, I plan to launch and manage a Kickstarter campaign. And then once I graduate and after the Kickstarter campaign is over, during the summer, I hope to establish a fulfillment center that can achieve the capacity necessary for future demand, as well as I will need capital to place orders with Oregon Freeze Dry. Thank you all so much for listening to my pitch, and for all you aspiring adventurers out there, get out there and activate your wild side.